and welcome to a cover story conversation. I have with me Vibha Kapoor. She is the principal of Welham Girls School in Dehradun. But today we're going to be talking not just about the school but also parenting in general. What it takes to bring up a girl in today's India. How to make her confident, financially independent and sure of herself, because there are so many more insecurities. I think, Vibha, the challenges today are really much more than I think you and I may have faced when we were growing up. So how do you see, what are the, what do you advice would you give the women of today or the parents of children?
So before I go into the advice, I'd like to dwell a little upon the kind of challenges that students or girls especially face today. So, we live in a digital era. There's artificial intelligence, which has become an integral part of our lives now. So one of the major challenges for any child is to be able to not lose their creativity, or their cognition, and not lose it to technology.
Right.
And so everything is at their fingertips. So that resilience, that hard work that we used to put initially, in the earlier generations used to put in doing something, that can be done at the click of a button. So that's one of the challenges that we face. Then, of course,
there a lot of pressure from social media that the girls face. But
yes, I think it's the entire generation is really clued in on social media, and there's always this constant need for stimulation, constant need to be seen on the media, which also wreaks havoc in their psyche. And that's something that schools per se and even parents need to address, and they need to kind of guide them how to navigate this digital social media kind of a world with a balance. I mean, of course it's required, but then you need to be able to know when to stop and focus on certain other things. So,
Right.
yeah.
No, because Welham's is a residential boarding school also. I think it's from class 6 to 12. So you have girls from different backgrounds coming in.
Yes.
How do you, in terms of, let's just first talk about the social media. Is there a policy in place in terms of access to the internet? How do you monitor what they're seeing, what they're watching?
So yes, there is a policy that, I mean, we try and block as many sites as possible so they can only do productive stuff on the internet. So they have, of course, they do a lot of research, and these days, especially with the NEP coming in, they're talking about research-based projects, which we've been doing even before the NEP came. So you do require the tech, but yes, social media sites, we try and block them. But having said that, I think the students are sharper than us when
Yes.
it comes to technology. So they will always find ways to, navigate it and find, ways to access the social media sites. So it's a kind of a constant upgradation from the side of the management and the side of and invention from the side of the students. Yeah.
So would you recommend a boarding school over a day school?
Oh yes, 100%. Because I feel the boarding schools give a complete package, whether it's academics, extracurriculars, co-curriculars, and also they give the students a kind of an emotional resilience which you do not find in a day school. In a day school, you run across, or you have an issue with a co-student or a teacher. You'll go back home at 2 o'clock or 3 o'clock and share it with your parents, and your parents will probably take up your war or, your issue with the school management. Here in a boarding school, the children are in an environment where they have to sort out their own issues. They need to learn how to negotiate with their juniors, with their seniors. They want a certain favor. They need to know how to navigate their house mistress as well.
Correct.
So those are the 21st century skills we talk about, the art of negotiation, conflict resolution, problem solving. And that even smuggling in tuck may also teach them how to kind of, manage the system. So
correct.
I think, yes, I think boarding schools definitely give those skills.
And also it levels the playing field, like everybody has the same access to the same facilities, the same pocket money to spend, the same problems.
It's cutthroat competition. And so each one kind of is unequal. They get equal pocket money, they get equal shares at the food table. The teachers treat them equally. The house mistress, for them, all students in the house are just the same, irrespective of the background that they come in from. So, I mean, anybody's father or a mother, their profession is irrelevant. So I think that is that's a leveler.
That is a huge leveler, because it's not janta hai mera baap kaun hai kind of a situation. It doesn't matter.
Yes, yes.
But also, what I've noticed is in terms of like we were talking about the digital thing. Today's kids don't know how to mix with each other. Everybody has got that thing in the ear and the phone. So maybe in a boarding school, you teach them to read books. Is the library, going well? And in terms of other activities?
Yes, the library is still there. However, I would say that overall, if you see, the level of reading is declining.
Acha.
And the students are more comfortable reading on the screen than reading, using a book to read,
Oh, that.
So, that
I just placed myself in a certain generation when I said that.
Yeah, so that that definitely is there, but an advantage that a boarding school has is that they have a very rigorous routine. It's timed, so they have to have compulsory sports. They have to follow 2 activities apart from their regular academics. If there is a match, then everybody gathers around and spectates. So the time that is left for them to go and isolate themselves in front of a screen, that's very limited, which isn't the case when you are outside a boarding school. So, yeah.
So you have kids. So in terms of challenges of parenting, now I'm not talking in context of Vellums, but just as a parent, what are the challenges that you face with your kids that you were not there at your time?
So I think these days parental ambitions are sky high, and those are compounded by the kind of advice that these external career counselors are giving them. The counselors will, suggest to the parents of an 8th grader that maybe she should write a book. So there are a lot of substandard books coming up, which are getting printed, and self-published books are there, and so many other activities. And obviously, these career counselors also have to kind of justify the kind of fees that they're taking. So they're very unrealistic, you could say, goals that come up, or ideas of success that come up, and that's wreaking havoc in the mindset of the children. And also, even now in this day and age, I feel that many a times the parents still want their kids to pursue certain subjects, whether their child has an aptitude for it or not, which is unfortunate, because each child is different. They have different strengths, and that's what they need to recognize.
The pressure is also because from these so-called Ivy League colleges.
Oh, yes.
That want to not just top your academics, but also be a quantum computer expert in your spare time.
Yeah. So I will. I have a different take on it. So for admission to these very highly competitive colleges and universities, you do a whole lot of things which are purely focused on the academics, just to get through. But then what next? Once you get admission, then does it do anything to your employability? You need to have the other skills around your academics as well. Only then, you'll be able to know success. So that gets left out, I think.
So how important is not just your CV, but your personality? So in terms of voice coaching, or the way you carry yourself, the way you present yourself, are those things that parents should also be, or kids should be looking into?
That comes from the environment, I think, because I come from a boarding school. I think we give that kind of opportunity to our students. There's so many events that come up where children get the opportunity to lead, to drive a particular project. So these are more than being taught, they're lived in the environment, and that's why they get it. But they are extremely important, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the other things in terms of, for instance, girls. Today we do a lot of shows. In my other show, We Women Want, with young girls, and I had a very interesting conversation with 20-somethings who had just graduated, and I asked them, "What are your priorities?" And they said, first is being financially independent, second is having kids, third is marriage. Kids can be now, there are so many IVF, adoption, etc. But what I liked was the financial independence. So that uh, is that coming at the cost of something? Because we are seeing a lot of marriages breaking up also because now women have found their voice.
No, but just because the marriages are breaking up doesn't mean that we don't give them an equal level playing field.
Right.
The girls need to be financially independent. I think a lot of marriages will sustain also if they're financially independent.
Yeah.
I'd like to think of it like that. And financial literacy is extremely important. Many of the national boards are also now looking into curriculum that they can actually roll into schools and teach children how to manage their money. I think a lot of ills of the society can be taken care of if
The girls
are good with their money and
stand up for themselves.
and stand
So
up for
actually, my
themselves.
question was not, is it good or bad? I think I phrased it badly. But is it? Are we seeing new units coming up, and are we preparing our girls for that? First it was, you're going to be a daughter, and then you're getting into a marriage situation. Now there is a life
Yes.
in between which you can negotiate, and so is that something? I'm not saying consciously you're telling the girls that, but you are preparing them.
Yeah, I think we do prepare them in the sense that, of course, we give them the skills that are required when it comes to digital literacy or money management and all of that. I've lost track of the question. What was
The
it?
question is that are girls ready? Do you kind of tell the girl that there are other way? That
See-
there is no formula for life, basically.
So there is no. So the thing is, career today in this day and age, career is the most important thing on the minds of the girls that we have in school. It's a really there is no question that they are not looking at a good career. In fact, even the aspirations of the parents are now more career oriented than marriage oriented, and which in a way is good, because that way we'll get to channelize our
So parents are
girls to
also
become
now.
something. Yes.
I think the literacy has to be with the parents also, and not just
Yeah.
the kids.
Yeah. No, but they are ambitious.
Yeah.
So the parents are definitely very,
Very
very
ambitious.
ambitious. But sometimes it is at the cost of the child as well. That's
I
also
agree with
there.
you. That point I want to take up, but after a very quick break. So stay with us.
I've lost track of the question. What was
The
it?
question is that are girls ready? Do you kind of tell the girl that there are other way? That there is no formula for life, basically.
So there is no. So the thing is, career today in this day and age, career is the most important thing on the minds of the girls that we have in school. It's a really there is no question that they are not looking at a good career. In fact, even the aspirations of the parents are now more career oriented than marriage oriented, and which in a way is good, because that way we'll get to channelize our
So parents are
girls to
also
become
now.
something. Yes.
I think the literacy has to be with the parents also, and not
Yeah.
just the kids.
Yeah. No, but they are ambitious.
Yeah.
So the parents are definitely very,
Very
very
ambitious.
ambitious. But sometimes it is at the cost of the child as well.
Hello and welcome back to our cover story conversation. My guest today is Vibha Kapoor, the principal of Wellam Girls School in Dehradun. Vibha, we were talking about before the break about the expectations really on girls today. Now there are no stereotype gender roles. Okay, man will be the earner and the woman will be the housewife. Women want to earn, and they may not even want the man in their life. So these are things that women are negotiating, and the parents are supporting them in this.
Yes, definitely. They are supporting them. In fact, over the past years, I've seen that marriage is something that they will get into only if they really want it. It's not like a mandate for them, neither for the parents. I've seen parents also are not pushing their children to get married. Earlier at the age of 24, 25, parents would start worrying about it. But I've seen that shift happen. And now they will get into a marriage if they find a partner that they're compatible with. So yes, and career definitely is on their mind, and the diversity in careers is also something that is very heartening. In our school, I mean, there are subjects which are treated equally as compared to where schools, as compared to schools where more stress is laid on the STEM subjects. Of course, STEM is strong, but here, whether if you're doing psychology or a political science or a history, it is considered at par. And a lot of our students are also going into law and psychology and so many other areas which which hold charm for the parents and the students alike. Yeah.
So there is, but also we are in an era where there is a lot of awareness of what is happening. But in terms of girls and boys, should now they be brought up the same way? Because as I said, there is no gender stereotyping really anymore.
Yes, so personally I feel that we started bringing up our girls in a way that they no role was not doable for them. And we make our girls do everything that even the boys would do. But unfortunately for us, the opposite may not be really true, or may not be %%, because the boys are not brought up with a mindset that if helping in the house, in the housework, raising up kids, doing the stuff which is typically traditionally a woman's job. If that mindset is broken, I think the society will be a much better place.
But is it because the boys are also seeing what happens at home? The fathers are not helping, so वो mindset वहाँ से भी आता है.
Yeah, and I think the education of the boy actually comes from the mother. Really, if the mother is strong enough, then obviously the boy will have a strong feminine role model in his life. And then if the mother is working and she's financially independent and she's able to say what is on her mind in the house, and she has a say in the decisions, then definitely the boy is going to accept another girl who's going to come in and do the same thing.
And speak on voice. Correct. And if the boy sees the mother taking, all this thing from the father, taking shit from the father, he'll say, oh, this is how women are supposed to be treated.
Yeah.
So he will. You're absolutely right. Exactly. The example is there. But in terms of toxicity, do you teach girls, or do you think, because the violence is not physical, there is also the gaslighting, there is, which even women do to men, to be fair. So that kind of awareness, do we tell the kids, or do they pick it up?
Definitely the school always teaches inclusion, carrying everybody along, all of those things. They also learn it in their dorms and in their sports fields. I think what is important is to teach the children to question. Let's say if they're uncomfortable, then they must question. So even if it's gaslighting, or these days there's a lot of cancel culture. You cancel out a person completely and you ignore their existence. So those kind of things can happen in any school. Why just boarding schools? In any community, all of that, in generally. So I think it's another strength that we can give to our students or our children is that it is okay not to be a part of a toxic culture. It's okay to do it alone. And your sense of self does not depend upon whether you are included in a particular group which is considered as the cool group. So that's what we need to teach our
be strong enough to
kids.
Say no.
Yes, be strong enough to say no, and also it is okay to do it alone as well for a while till you find your own tribe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Correct. No, so the pressures of social media, I think the thing what we didn't face in our time, I think one is this, of course, social media, this fear of being left out, or the social media, digital bullying that takes place, cancel culture. And the second thing, as we were discussing earlier, is this fierce competition that makes even your parents want to push you harder. You have to, there is a bar that the public has set for you, in terms of college admissions, and it's not, so you have to just, the fun has gone out of childhood.
I would say that to an extent is true, because college admissions have gotten tougher and tougher. But the entrance examinations for professional courses are so tough. I mean, you need at least about a year of grueling training and lots of mock tests before you can actually, before you're able to crack it. So that definitely has taken the fun out of childhood and adolescence. By the time they come into 11th and 12th, they just want to recede into a room with a device where they can just do their tests. So I think that should be at the policy level. They need to see how they can take that stress of getting through an entrance exam,
without it being
a
thing on your character.
And these days, I think the class 12 board results have lost their sheen as well, because let's say a child wants to do a CLAT exam, her or his future depends on one single exam. So they leave everything aside, they leave all the experiences that the school offers aside, and they are only focusing on that one exam in their final year, when they are supposed to be learning so many skills. They're supposed to be taking the lead, showing the juniors the way, and participating in events and competitions and honing their other skills. Unfortunately, they're actually only preparing for these exams, which is sad. So I think that at the government level should be looked into and seen whether the board exams, or whether there is another component that can be added to these tests or assessments.
That is true, because and it's all about even your pleasure activities are what will look good on your CV, what will look good on your college essay. Life is not just college essays. That's unfortunately what it has become.
It has become, yes. Like, for example, even if we were to put in an interview, let us say a component of the interview in these exams, then there will be a whole lot of institutes that will come up and which will train students on the interviews. So each one sounds exactly similar to the next. So I think we need to be really creative in the way we pick students for the professional courses. It shouldn't
That's very well said. Creativity is going. You have this assembly line of very accomplished individuals, but who haven't learned how to live.
Yes, and the skill of living in a community is also going. This sense of injustice is going, it's hitting the roof. But actually, we also need to tell our children that when they go out, life is not going to be fair. The college atmosphere will be different. Not everybody will like you. This constant need for being liked and being accepted, that also needs to be addressed. You have to be comfortable in your own skin.
So that is where social media comes in. They make you so insecure. If you don't have so many likes, you're not happening. That's the other.
Yeah, so I think that way, thankfully, I think boarding schools offer a safe haven, an area which is kind of safe from these ills to an extent. Although that's creeping in now, gradually.
Oh, I'm sure. But thank you for this conversation. Really, the challenges of new age parenting, bringing up girls and boys with today's challenges is something I think we are all still trying to find a way around. But it was a very interesting conversation to have with you. And I think, having been from Vellums myself, there is something to be said about a boarding school, and especially one at Vellums, that really takes you into a very safe, secure place, but makes you also ready to fight the world outside, prepares you for the outside world. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
For more such videos, subscribe to the NewsX YouTube channel, hit the bell icon.